The advantages of reasoning for networks and hubs. It becomes clear that reasoning for networks and functional hubs has a significant impact on the practice of care and change professionals with interesting applications in various fields, from psychotherapy to education, from counseling to business coaching. Thanks to brain networks, it becomes possible to understand behaviors, self-regulation processes, their dysfunctions, and possible pathologies. The result is an integrative perspective useful to frame the situation correctly and set targeted and effective interventions. The brain networks represent an interpretation that can enrich and supplement other approaches and methodologies. It is knowledge and information based on scientific evidence capable of performing, also in theory, its role of integration and synergy network. For example, knowing the brain networks allows us to understand the refined effective mechanisms so that different approaches can be integrated and optimized, like psychotherapy from the classic CBT approach to the most modern sense motor psychotherapy, disciplines such as meditation or mindfulness, various forms of counseling and coaching, but also expressive activities like theater and writing or sports and martial arts. Knowing the brain networks has two other advantages that we will follow during this course. The first is to gain access to a system of techniques developed in a targeted manner to support, develop, and integrate all these networks and their hubs. Each video has practical and specific techniques. We believe so much in the potential of these networks that our courses have the same structure and logic. The members of the Integrative Sciences Hub, in fact, can access all courses and training modules at any time. The participation fee is extremely limited because a network that works well optimizes resources. Another advantage of the approach for functional network is that, once you understand the mechanics, it becomes more flexible, efficient, and creative. By analogy, we can say it is like passing from being a commis who repeats the recipe decided by the chef to being a chef who decides what and how to do it and knows how to balance ingredients because of their awareness of the characteristics and components of the various foods. To make an example, to increase saltiness, the most obvious thing would be to add salt, but this could have consequences on the flavor and on our health. A chef must consider all balances and be forward-looking. A chef knows how to act on different mechanisms in a strategic way. For example, a chef would know that the perception of salt changes depending on how hot a food is, and that, if you first offer a taste of something bitter, the perceptual threshold is lowered so the dish will taste even saltier. Similarly, knowing the mechanisms of network control, attention, sociability, affection, strategy, action, and more puts us in the position to use various gimmicks, to take advantage of activities that our patient already practices for passion, as drawing or writing, with small steps to increase their transformative power. In the same way, we will have the tools to implement changes to already known techniques, so we will be able to make them even more focused on their purposes or to create new ones.